Hi, my name is Debbie Richardson, and I have stiff person syndrome. As I have said in earlier chats, when I was diagnosed, it was before the internet, so I did not have access to medical journals or another person. And in some ways, that was a blessing. I maneuvered around my house for a very long time, and continual spasm movement precipitated continual jerky spasms in my entire body. So I either crawled or maneuvered around my house like a very uncertain, shaky Spider-Man. I'm going to talk about one of my first, you could call it a reckoning or an epiphany. It didn't hinder, for some odd reason, my ability to drive, which still gave me a small sense of independence when I could drive. My daughter was only in preschool. I would drop her off, but I could not walk her to the door. I had no way to get her to the door. This was a rainy morning, and as I watched her struggle with the heavy door, and rain was coming down the side of the door, tears were going down my face, that I couldn't do anything so simple as escort my little girl to the door on a rainy day to get her into school. A little boy who was in her preschool class was coming with his grandmother, and she opened the door for my little girl, and my little girl went in. My ritual was to go through McDonald's when they had the nice cinnamon rolls, got myself a cinnamon roll, got back home, pulled into the garage. It was an attached garage. Where the car door opened, I was able to hold on to the door, to hold on to the garage, to slam the door, to just go right around the corner and to sit in the recliner. And I sat in the recliner that day, and I did a lot of soul searching. Anybody who has this diagnosis knows how much it hurts inside to lose your ability to do something so simple as to take your daughter to the door and let her in to preschool. And I sat there and I thought and I prayed. And I thought, my gosh, how am I going to mother this child? How am I going to be a mother? And as I sat there in a moment of self-evaluation and thinking, I thought, it was like God spoke to me, or if you don't believe, a voice said to me, love will show you the way. And that's what I allowed to happen. I didn't focus on my illness. I never discussed my illness. To my daughter, I was just mom. As she became an adult, I asked her, I said, did you ever feel badly that I was not well? She didn't recall it. It became a non-issue. I noticed when she got older, about 7, she was coming down the stairs on her butt. And I said, what are you doing? She laughed and she goes, well, I'm like you, Mommy, I'm having fun. So she considered the way I maneuvered around the house as Mom just having fun. She would call a spasm a spazzle, and I liked that. It kind of gave it a magical ring to something horrific in her childhood mind. And I developed ways to mother her that were outside of the norm. I could sit and be a tea party partner more so than when I was busy or able to do other things, undivided attention. We would do Barbie Mall. I only had to sit in one spot. We would take envelopes, we would glue them shut, cut them in half, be shopping bags, and the whole fun would be setting up the mall. I was a good patient, career patient, while she played doctor on me. I always managed, whether it was crawling, whatever, to get to her room, to have a time of bedtime stories, talk, and prayer, just like I did with her older brother. I remember when she was in first grade, her school was just 2 houses and 1 street away. And I could not get there. I could not get in. There was no proximal parking place. Even with a walker, I could not get in. So my mom would come and I volunteered to do computer reading for the students. I didn't have my daughter, but she knew Mommy was there. And so with my mom's guidance, bent over like an old woman, shuffling, because I couldn't pick up my feet, and I managed, with my mom's help, to get up the stairs to the computer room. And then I didn't have to do anything. I had desks to hold on to get to different students, to help them with their reading assignment and to do their testing. But the perk was, I was there when she went to lunch. And as I sat there on the bench with my mom, my little first grader come out of the room, and she saw me. She burst into smiles. She came and gave me a hug. Her friends started giving me a hug. And it made her feel important, and it validated me as a mom, made me feel important. She wrote a poem about me, beautiful poem, because I have a lordosis, curvature of the back. You with the crooked spine. And it's a beautiful poem. She wrote that in middle school. I found a booklet my son had written when he was in first grade. It was me and my mom. Me and my mom play. Me and my mom play ball. Me and my mom work. Me and my mom ride bikes. Me and my mom go fishing. And it was all the things that I was able to do with him that I wasn't able to do with my daughter. And at first it hurt me, but then I realized that there was a flip side. I gave to my daughter things that I was too busy in my normal life to give my son. My undivided attention, my imagination, my time. So there are some paybacks for the horrific things a stiff person does to you emotionally, mentally, and of course we all know physically. But this was the first reckoning I had with the illness, where I had to dig deep inside my gut and my heart to find a way for a resolution to how I was feeling. And my feeling was inadequacy as a mother, which I wasn't. I was still an adequate mother. Anybody can feed your child. Anybody can wash their clothes. Only I could give her a mother's love. And this is what I want to share with you today. I don't know where you're at in diagnosis, recovery, but stiff person does not touch your heart unless you let it. And as I told myself years ago, love will show you the way. I hope this is of some benefit to somebody. I do care. I do understand. I've been through a lot. I've grown a lot. I wish my life had been different. But this path that fate has chosen to put me on has enriched my life in other ways. And I hope to share more in coming talks. Thank you for listening. May God bless.